And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the semifinals of the Platinum Heroes StarCraft 2 Tour. Welcome back here to the second monthly here of 2026. We just wrapped up with our lower semifinals. Just had an intense back and forth between Cristiano and Percival. Percival did barely win the series 3-2 in that best of 5. And now we have another best of 5 here to determine who is going to be Percival's opponent in the finals. Will it be Creator or Gerald? We have a PvP ready for you here. Let's go. Our players, they still need a moment before we jump into this series. They do need a moment. In doing so, I do want to give a shout out to Ladder Legends. Ladder Legends, they are one of the main sponsors of the event, and they do provide coaching services. If you're interested, if you're a Terran player out there, there is a Terran Masterclass. There's a Masterclass happening in a couple of weeks, I want to say, is it like April 10th, April 13th? Sometime in April, we do have a masterclass with Big Gabe. Big Gabe here in Marine, he's going to be hosting a masterclass over at Ladder Legends, so you can be a part of that. You can fall under Gabe's tutelage and maybe learn some Terran as a result as well, or improve your Terran, if you will. So shout out to Ladder Legends. Again, they are one of the main sponsors. Likewise, if you want to support this event and support the Platinum Heroes in another way, you can do so via Ko-Fi. There is a Ko-Fi account here. Hold on one moment though. There we go. Just posting in the chat, both in Twitch chat and over on YouTube as well. But there's a Ko-Fi for the Platinum Heroes, so you can help fund their tournaments, grow their tournaments, and just support the Platinum Heroes and the events that they host and organize over on Ko-Fi as well. As they don't just organize these events, but I believe they were also one of the big sponsors and organizers for the March Madness. Or am I thinking of? Yeah, the March Madness. The offline event that happened in Oklahoma over in the Americas, which is the event that Jumi and Gerald went to not too long ago. So they've been doing a lot for StarCraft for the scene. So much love to the Platinum Heroes and Platinum Esports. Much love. So you can help support them on Ko-Fi. Just catching up in the chats, I would like to see some old school classics come back into the rotation personally. There was definitely some talk, I want to say it was last season, there was some talk on potentially not bringing back old maps into the rotation, because I do think that'd probably be a negative thing, but something along the lines of what you're saying is revamping old maps. So the idea of updating and upgrading, because right now a lot of the old, especially depending on how far back you're talking about, to be fair, but if you're talking about like old Wings of Liberty maps or Heart of the Swarm maps, a lot of them are larger, a lot of them aren't necessarily built for the current meta, as meta does change and shift, and map kind of criteria changes and shifts over the years as well. So some of those old maps we're going to be really nostalgic for, but aren't the most balanced maps nowadays. But the idea of going back and revamping and revitalizing those maps for modern StarCraft is definitely something that's interesting. I'm not opposed to the idea, especially because there are so many nostalgic maps, right? There are so many legendary maps from back in the day. It would be nice to kind of see them get a bit of a facelift to be reintroduced once again. I know there was definitely discussion regarding that previously, a couple of months ago. I can get behind it for sure. I can get behind it for sure. I also want to emphasize, because I remember there was some arguments against it that were oh, what, you want to you don't want to introduce new maps, you just want to focus on older ones. I would imagine that in this kind of scenario, you'd mix them in alongside new maps as well. You'd have maybe two revamped maps from back in the day and then fresh maps alongside them as well. It'd be interesting. I'd say it'd be nice. Be nice to see. The idea of remastering maps. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Remastering Cloud Kingdom, or what am I thinking of? Habitation Station. Oh, the old maps. Are there any winter/snowy maps? I haven't seen the maps yet because the submission phase is still open. So right now map makers are still submitting maps as we speak, and it'll be afterwards where we'll get an eye on them. But I would imagine, winter aesthetic maps are quite common, so I'm sure we'll see them. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our fresh series, our upper semifinals, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic. We have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Old Republic, we do have the blue Protoss player, the Polish Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. But I think it was Avex who was floating the idea of like remastering maps. I think it was Avex. It might have been someone else. It's been a while. It's been a couple of months. But I can get behind it for sure. Like, it is a bit of a shame, like, if we have like a quote unquote like legendary map that is only in the map pool for a brief period of time and then leaves. Maybe in the future, maybe if the TLMC loses a little bit of traction in regards to map makers and how many maps are submitted, that might be like a solution to that. I guess for some greater context, last season we had almost like 100 maps. Like, it was crazy. Like that was a lot of maps to go through, Pat. It was intense. I say 100. I think it was like 89-ish, 89, 90 maps. It was quite a lot to go through. There was some wild maps, by the way. Like, it was I felt bad. There were some maps that like were really nice aesthetically, but like had a lot of issues with them, like in other aspects. It was a wild ride. We had some streams covering them from back in last season. We'll probably do streams covering them here as well. Do some streams. But otherwise, gonna be settling in. We do have a 2-gate opener here by Creator. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of Gerald. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. We're settling into our PvP. I didn't really get too much into it, but typically PvPs are hyper aggressive and hyper assertive depending on the players themselves. What I mean by that is when we get players like Hero involved, Hero, Classic, Max, Showtime, like these top Protoss players are often hyper aggressive and hyper assertive. Even Showtime, who has a reputation for macro play, that is not applicable in PvP. Like, he cheeses the hell out of everyone in PvP. Like, who doesn't? But there are certain players that come to mind that are a lot more passive and a lot more mid-game oriented. For the Koreans, I mean, that's Creator. Like, to be honest, that is Creator. And from the Europeans, Geralt as well. I would say that both these players have a reputation for the mid-game instead, so we should be seeing a slower PvP as opposed to what we're used to. Also, before I forget, if you're in the chat, there it is. It is Gamba time. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. As we get into our PvP, Gerald's opening up with a hidden pylon. We have a Twilight Council back at home. Are we going for a proxy Dark Shrine? Oh, hello. Show us what you got. The pylon has been thrown down, and are we expecting something hidden here? Eyes are on Gerald. So far, Blink has begun. Oh, going for delayed Stargate. Okay, going for delayed Stargate. Not the first time we've seen this. We've seen this build out of Gerald's. I want to say he did this against Hero, and I remember Hero complimenting Gerald about it. Oh no, he's scouting. No shot. Gerald, Creator, he scouts. He scouts. He does confirm, and he also lets him know. He attacks the pylon, letting Gerald know that he has been found. Ay ay ay. Now, Creator has to make a choice. Now, this proxy is very far out of the way, so do we commit and do we head in that direction to kill the pylon while leaving our bases exposed back at home? The answer is no. Third base is on the way. He's keeping the army in position. There's a cancellation of the Stargate. And Gerald expands as well. To expand. Head up safe in the shade. Both players are claiming their third bases, and both players are building up into the mid game. But Creator has a slight edge. He has a slight edge here when it comes to his blink timing. So slightly later blink out of Gerald. Slightly later expansion. But we do have the faster forge though. Okay. But again, only slight variations here by a couple of seconds. We're going to be here for a while. I can feel it. We can. Not just in this game, but this series. I can feel it, Pat. Creator, he rescouts, confirming that the Stargate was cancelled. Creator, he races back home to defend. Typically when it comes to mid-game PvP, so we build up our Blink Stalkers, we typically transition into Charge our Archon Immortal. The reasoning for this is Zealots do an amazing job tanking against Stalkers, tanking against Immortals, and they're also a cheaper option as well. They're just a cheaper, more efficient unit coming into the mid-game. As your opponent, or as you build up Zealots, the counter to that is going to be Archon production. So that typically leads into Archons as they punish Zealots clumping up, and of course they tank very nicely against Chargers as well. As you build up your Archon counts, then that often does lead into Disruptors to counter that as well. That'd be the more mid to late game, is switching to Disruptors. But more often than not, we just stay on Stalker, Zealot, Immortal, Archon. Speaking of Archons, there it is. Temple Archives for Creator, Temple Archives for Gerald. So Archons are on the horizon, Charge as well. Again, both players are just embracing a longer game. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Mr. Cillian? Mr. Cillian? Or Marcillian instead. Marcillian. But thank you so much for subscribing for the second time, actually. 2 months. 2 months in a row. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Puppy. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate the support. Gracias. Gracias. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. From here, we are just amassing. 4th base on the way. We might just max out. Like, it's we're just being very passive here. We're poking in every now and then, you know, getting a couple of probe kills, adept harass, but nothing major. As you mentioned, these two are some of the more passive, some of the more like macro-oriented Protoss players out there. Creator and Gerald. So we're just calming down. Building up into +2. I mean, it's a little bit refreshing. I'll be honest, it's been a while since we've seen like a macro PvP. It's been like a couple of months, I think. Unironically. We cast a lot of PvP on the channel, but again, a lot of it is just hyper aggression, 1 base all-ins, 2 base all-ins. Duh. Now, when it comes to how our players are building up, a lot of it will also come down to the engage. There is micro involved when it comes to these two armies clashing. You don't want to aim move in your Zealots. If you aim move in your Zealots, they clump up and they die very quickly to the Archons. So ideally, you want to pull your Zealots back. You want to kite forward. You want to pick away at the Archons themselves. And if you see an opening, then collapse in. Or likewise, just make sure you keep your Zealots spread. Of course, positional play also going to come into play as well. When it comes to how these armies clash. Once again, tech-wise, we're kind of already there. We're only looking for a Bay and a second Robo, as we could switch into Disruptors. But that's really going to be the only tech deviation here. Otherwise, the War Prisms are coming out. So with the arrival of the War Prisms, we can start to be active. We can start to push. Speaking of, here he comes. I believe the War Prism has arrived. Yep, there it is. So the Prism has arrived. At Creator, he does push. We spoke about Disruptors. There it is. There's the Bay. So Gerald, he's already thinking about Disruptors. But Creator, he'll hit first. He will hit first. Upgrades are even. When it comes to the main armies, we have an even Archon count. Ooh, Gerald does have extra Immortals. True. He has 4 Immortals to 1. Zealots are heavily in favor of Creator. Gee, that's a lot of Zealots. 32. And he does hit the natural. It does hit the natural base. Gerald, he rotates. Does get in position. Zealots are clumping. Jeez, calm down. Calm down, Pappy. As both armies are maxing out. The Bay is finishing. As Gerald bleeds out units, he can replace them with Disruptors. That's Creator, he does rotate. Once again, he attempts to rotate over. As I mentioned, you have to be very careful with your Zealots and with your army movement. Oh, Prism is exposed. Not bad. Prism goes down. Nice pick off out of Geralt, and here comes the first Disruptor. So far, the aggression from Creator has been ineffective. Did not find a way in. Disruptors are slowly building up, and Disruptors, they are kind of the ideal. Like, this is like the pinnacle, the peak mid-game here for PvP. You build up your Disruptors, and when you go from there, then late-game PvP is Sky Toss. But we most likely won't get there. Oh. There's an opening. Yeah, there is an opening. Gerald completely out of position. Yeah, he's racing on over. There's an opening into the natural. Oh. There he goes off. Oh my god, massive connection. Massive connection on the Zealots. Solid Nova here by Gerald. A nice start, and so far he has been able to keep up. He was out of position, and I assumed that the Creator would peel off some Zealots into the mineral line. But Creator, he did not go into the natural. And Gerald is out scaling. You can see the Creator, he is skipping Disruptors and going straight into Sky Toss. Double Star getting in the way. Headed towards Sky Toss. Zealots are being bullied back. Nice Archon shots here out of Gerald. Gerald, he does take the better fight. Yeah, nice force fields. Yeah, turns back the Stalkers. And Gerald, he is amassing up to 4 Disruptors. Meanwhile, Phoenix production. So we're not making the switch into Sky Toss. Phoenixes are a way to counter Disruptors, but this is a risky maneuver. Sure, Phoenixes, they can lift Disruptors and deny those Novas, but at the same time, there's already a heavy Archon count. They're here to punish. They're here to punish those Phoenixes. There is plenty of anti-air. There's the Fleet Beacon. But I do favor Gerald's position here. I do favor it. These Phoenixes, they feel like they're one and done, right? Like, I feel like the goal is for one big fight. Phoenixes, they can lift up and disable the Disruptors immediately. But they will die in the process. So they're going to have like 1 lift each. Fleet Beacon is done, and now we have the Mothership, a +1 air attack. Now, what's scary here as we get into a longer game and as Gerald is being passive and defensive back at home and not taking advantage of this position, is that we can switch into Sky Toss. Yep, there it is. We spoke about it. That is the late game PvP. Carriers and Tempest. They are coming. Gerald, he's on a timer. He's getting his own Stargate. It's much more delayed. Again, I prefer Gerald's position currently with all these Disruptors, but we got to make use of this army, though. We're going to be active. We cannot just stay at home. Again, +1 air attack is on the way. More carriers are on the way. Gerald, he's pulling back. Again, he's staying defensive. He's scared. Even though he has a stronger army. Like, I favor Gerald's position for the past, like, 2 minutes. 2 or 3 minutes. Gerald, he took better fights. Built up his Disruptors, but that window is closing. Gerald, he is slowly losing his advantage. Now, what I will say is that because it's going to be Carrier instead of Tempest, I feel like the heavy Archon count can still hold its own against Mass Interceptor. I think this is still okay. Also, fun fact, the counter to Carrier is Tempest. If Gerald goes straight Tempest from here, and if Creator isn't aggressive himself, then Gerald can still build up a better army, a superior army. Again, it depends like how passive Creator is going to be. As Creator, he has 2 carriers so far, getting to a 3rd carrier. We should be seeing Tempest out of Gerald. He's maxed. Mothership is on the way. Gerald, he might start killing his own Immortals. It's a hard choice to make, but we gotta get rid of some supply. We gotta get rid of something. Okay, we're opting to throw away some Stalkers. Speaking of, nice time on some Disruptors. There's a recall back home. And it is going to be Tempest. I do like this. Like, again, as you mentioned, Tempest is superior to Carrier. So Gerald, he's working on that Tempest count. The only issue here, of course, is that it's going to take a while to build up the Tempest. Yo, this game is a game of passivity. Like, there was a window where Gerald had the better army, but he didn't attack. And then there was a window where Creator had the better army, but he's also not attacking. So it's... And now we're going to get into Tempest. And then Gerald's not going to attack. And then Creator's going to get into Tempest. And then we... God damn it. What are we doing? What are we... Just no one wants to attack. There we go. Creator now pushes. But there's already 3 Tempest. I'm streaming today, by the way. Much love. Much love. Oh, este kid Colombian. Gracias, papi. Este colombiano. Immortals are going for a counterattack. They kill a base. Like, we want to get rid of these Immortals. They've lost their value. So Nexus goes down. They also scout the carriers. Can he get another Nexus? No shot. He's going for it. He wants another Nexus. And he's going to get it. 2 bases go down to the Immortal Water Bite. Let's go. And again, he's throwing all this away. Immortals, they have no value here. They have no value. More Tempests are amassing. And Creator, he didn't push, by the way. So again, like, no, we have not seen any player commit to an attack this game. Sure, Gerald, Creator, who was posturing earlier. True, he just didn't find a way in. Making 5 Tempests at a time. I believe Creator hasn't seen this. If he did, he should be starting his own his own Tempest. Oh boy. So far, there's only 3 Tempests for Gerald. His Tempest count is still a little bit low, but he's getting up to 7. Yeah, mass cannons, mass shield batteries. This girl, remember, he doesn't move out before 20-minute mark. True. We're almost there. We're almost at 20 minutes. Casito. He's almost there. Then he has permission to attack. He commits. You know it's going to be going off. Massive connections. Oh my god. The Archons, they get punished. They get shut down. But are there too many carriers? You know it's going to be going off. Get a good chunk of Archons do fall. Tempest, they have arrived. They focus on the carriers. They get 1. No detection. Okay, going for the mothership. No detection here. Tempest, they have to back off. Tempest, they pull away. There we go. Cloak dots run out. And Gerald, he can chase. Okay, he can give chase. Carriers are going to be falling one after the other. We're going for a mass stalker switch. Switching it up. Warping in as many stalkers as he can. There's how many carriers left? 5. Oh, yeah, the mothership should be sniped. Going for the Phoenix. Mothership goes down. Massive pickoff. Gets a carrier. There's 4 carriers left. As we mentioned, the Tempest, they just bully. The Tempest, they just get free damage. They bully the army. Again, Gerald, he got into a superior composition with Mass Tempest. And he will kill everything. Like this. Keep going, papi. Send it. Yo, is this legal? It's not 20 minutes yet. What's going on? He's 30 seconds too early, papi. True. 30 seconds early. The best hope here is the Blink Stalkers to get under the army. They're trying to. Yeah, Tempest, sorry, the Stalkers, they give a chase. They get 1. They go for the mothership. Mothership goes down. Oh, the stasis! Oh my god, the stasis goes off, catching out the army. Gerald, he gets the final Tempest. Oh, but he's getting caught out though. Yeah, there are just so many Blink Stalkers. They counter the Tempest. This is why we need Disruptor. Out of the Tempest, they get away. They do get away in time. So far, nice kiting. Oh, Creator, he wants them though. He wants them. He wants the Tempest. He blinks in. He gets 1, 2. 2 more Tempests go down. The mass Blink Stalkers, papi. He's doing it. Oh, the counter DTs. No detection. Free damage. Yeah, he's getting free damage here. With that Gerald, he resets the Tempest count. He almost reset the Stalker count as well. The Invisible Man. There's 0 detection, by the way. No Observer, no Oracle, no nothing. Here's a Robo. The Robo's depowered. He can't make one. He can't make the Observer. Gerald, just push. You can do it. Send it, Pappy. If he kills this Robo, he can just kill it. No, keep going. I mean, there are cannons, right? There are cannons backing him to defend the mineral lines. Robo's repowered. Observer's on the way. The one Observer. And Gerald, he's the first to remax. Again, Gerald, he's had the more efficient army. He built up his Tempests. As we mentioned, like the carriers themselves, they were on a time limit. They're ideal against ground toss, not against sky toss. And you saw creators just get bullied. And now we're base trading. Now we're trading bases. Gerald takes down top left. Creator takes down center right. Ooh, Gerald turns around. Gerald, he does turn back around. He flinches. And Creator can always recall. You can always recall if need be. As he takes on the Nexus. Gerald, he's still racing over. Gerald pulls away. Remember, Gerald, he does have the more mobile composition. Mobility's on his side. In a head-on fight, Gerald, he should win. Oh. Catching out the Oracle by the Prism. The Prism goes down. It's just mass Stalker out of Creator. Oh, the Novas! Oh my god. Novas sprays the army. We're diving on top. Yeah, it does go for the dive, but alas, Cloak is activated. Thankfully, there's detection. There's one Observer. And does get one of the Tempests. He gets one, he gets two. And not enough Stalkers. Yeah, there's not enough Stalkers here. He does get 5 Tempests, though. That's a lot of Tempests falling, but GG gets called. There's nothing left. And Gerald, he will claim game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Gerald, he does take a lead in the series. Again, a very intense, different game, I will say. Very different kind of PvP, where both players were kind of being very passive, very defensive. Both players were teching up. But remember, Gerald, he was always one step ahead when it came to the kind of army he was working on. I say that there were windows of opportunity for both players, right? Initially, Gerald, he was able to defend and get away with his disruptors, right? He was able to build up a more cost-efficient army, and he could have pushed out with it. He could have tried to kill, but he didn't. He stayed back at home. Because of that Creator, he was allowed to take up into Sky Toss, but Creator chose to go Carrier, and the reality is Carrier is worse than Tempest in PvP. It's ideal against a ground army, so we assumed that he was going to push, but he didn't. It was kind of weird. Creator, he built up to 5-6 carriers, and he stayed at home. He was very, very defensive, very, very passive, so he missed his window of opportunity, because that allowed Gerald to get up into Tempest, right? To get up into the superior, into the ideal, into the late game PvP army, whereas Creator was stuck with Mass Carrier, and essentially wasted supply, wasted resources. He got shut down by the Tempest. GG. GG, well played. Again, you can definitely argue that Creator, there was a window where he could have been active, he could have been aggressive, he could have pushed with his carrier, but he was just chilling back at home, taking more bases, and he was punished for that. He was punished for that in the end. GG. GG, well played, and with that, we're now getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss. Down in the series, it is a Creator. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player himself, the Polish Protoss, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. Here we go. Here we go. So out of no resource lost for 9 minutes. Again, it was a really passive game. There was a lot going on when it came to the players teching and refining their compositions, and there was some positional play as well. When it comes to Creator's mindset and when it comes to his decision making, I think the assumption is that he thought that Gerald was going to attack at some point. I mean, especially when it comes to cross-regional play, it's very possible that Creator hasn't really played much against Gerald recently. Gerald, he is known for his macro, he's known for being more passive and being more kind of mid and late game oriented. So if Creator isn't aware of that, then Creator, I'm sure was just assuming that, hey, he's gonna attack at some point, right? Like he's gonna push it at some point. So I could just wait for him to come to me, right? No, it never happened. So this is maybe a creator now getting accustomed to Gerald's playstyle. Yep. Speaking of proxy, we're going for the proxy. So creator, he's learned his lesson. He's like, you know what? Clearly, he's not gonna come to me. I gotta come to him. Going for the proxy. What looks to be Stargate. Curious. Based on this positional, based on this location, it is short rush distance by air, so we can go Stargate into Oracle, but we'll see if we go into something more sinister and something more committed. Cybercore is about to finish. What's it gonna be? Stargate or Robo? We have the answer. Oh, proxy Robo. Never mind. One base all in. So one base all in at a creator. And we'll see how solid Gerald's defense is. Checking Gerald's vision, I believe he did scout the lack of pylon. He does. So Gerald, he gets into the main base. He does see that a pylon is missing, so he knows something is wrong, something is amiss. He knows that there is a proxy on the map. Now, whether it's a Stargate, a Robo, a Twilight Council, or a fake pylon, that is yet to be determined. So we'll see how Gerald opens up. Does he still go Nexus? No, shot. Ah, there it is. Stargate before Nexus. Okay. Now, by opening up Stargate, he does have access to early Void Rays. It's not ideal, but it is going to be something a little bit more to defend. It is a delayed expansion, so a bit of a safer build here by Gerald.
Our pylon is under attack.
Yeah, he did finish off the pylon across the map, so he does see what's coming out. He wants to catch the Adepts. And he will. Sorry, I was meant to mute. My apologies. But as they're moving out across the map, they're looking to throw in a shade into the main. Gerald, he counterattacks, forcing defensive warpins. The Immortal is revealed, and where is that Void Ray, by the way? It's still on the way. Yeah, the Void Ray is still coming. The Void Ray is coming. The pylon is under fire. There's the recall back home. And that pylon is going to go down. Oh, barely not. Yeah, what, 2 more volleys. Gerald so far is holding. Second pylon does finish. He will keep everything powered. Void Ray has arrived. Ideally, he does want that prism. Oh, it doesn't quite get it. He's out of range. He's out of range, but such limited anti-air here for Creator. Gerald is holding. But here come the Stalker reinforcements. Oops, some more Stalkers. We can see Gerald trying to catch any reinforcing Immortals. The Void Ray is out of position. Not at home to defend. Going for the Robo itself. But we need it back at home. Nice force. Okay, nice force field. Very nice force field. Oh, does drop off the ramp though. Prism goes down. No, he's stuck. No, the Immortal. The Immortal's going to go down, but we're committing. Yeah, we're going up the ramp. Creator, he says that we need that Void Ray back at home. We need the Void Ray, baby. The boys are being pulled. It does pull the boys. Lifts the Immortal. Can he focus it down? He should be able to. Ooh. No, he misclicked. No! Gerald, he's attacking the gateway. No, he saves the Immortal. I was curious. I was like, why isn't the Immortal dying? He misclicked. Gerald. No. The Void Ray. Get out of here. He was attacking the gateway. Ay, ay, ay. That Immortal should be dead. But at least Gerald defends, right? At least he does defend. Did waste a bunch of DPS. As Gerald does pull back. Again, Gerald, he's expanding. He also blocks the expansion of Creator. We just gotta survive. Just survive, Pappy. You can do it. Why would you go Oracle over Void Ray? So you can go Oracle instead. So imagine this position, imagine this kind of setup here, but instead you go Oracle first instead of Void Ray, which means you can get across the map and you can cripple the economy of your opponent while they're all-inning. So you can kind of like cripple them, punish the all-in, and then defend back at home with a Void Ray after Oracle. So that's like the rationale of going Oracle first. Obviously it was Void Ray first. It is greedier, it is riskier to go for the Oracle, but it can just win you the game by dealing crippling damage while the all-in is happening. The Oracle won't really help defensively, it's more about like crippling your opponents and shutting them down. If you're curious, obviously not applicable in this game, because we have Void Ray first. Here we go. Creator, he's slowly expanding, again the all-in has failed. And Gerald has a stronger economy as he has the faster natural. It's up and running. Remember times when carriers were totally OP units? Don't know what changed, what carriers suck nowadays. Carriers, they have their place in certain matchups. Like, for example, we were trying to emphasize last game, for example, like the carrier has, there's a reason why Creator made carriers. They do have their uses in the mid game against a ground army, right? Specifically against in a PvP against a ground focused army, but they get outscaled by Tempest. So they have a bit of they have a shorter like lifespan, I should say, in PvP. They do get outscaled as the game progresses, as your opponent builds up Tempest. That's why we were being critical of Creator for building up carriers but not being aggressive. So they were kind of like a waste, right? Like they were a waste of resources, a waste of investments. They hurt Creator more than helped him, just because he didn't use them, right? But as we mentioned, like my assumption though is that Creator assumed that Gerald was going to be aggressive and push into him. That's my assumption as to why he wasn't aggressive with it, why he wasn't active. It's similar in PvT, where in PvT there is a window in time where carriers can actually be quite useful if you can get into them, like, but at the same time there has to be like a certain environment for them as well. The problem is that in PvP, depending on your mid game, it is not uncommon for the Terran player to get Mass Viking out against like a Colossus heavy style. So if they already have Vikings, then like switching to carrier like doesn't really make any sense. So there's like niche situations where carrier can be viable against Terran, but it's very niche. As Gerald, he does move out. When it comes to the main army, Gerald, he's up in Immortals, he's up in Economy, that translates into a larger army, and Gerald, his units just snowball out of control. Oh no, waste a lift. Yeah, Hallucination does bait out some shots, but the second Immortal does fall, and now there's 0 Immortals left. The boys are being pulled. Creator, he is desperate. He's desperate for damage. Nice force field, zoning back the army. The Void Ray does fall. The boys are tanking. Yeah, the boys are tanking. The Immortals are exposed, and Creator, he's going to get 2. Yeah, he's going to get all 3 Immortals. Not bad. Does reset the Immortal counts. Creator, he does hold, but at the cost of 14 probes. Creator, he does fall behind economically. Oh, nice snipe though. He's going for the counterattack. He's pushing out. +1 is finishing. And Gerald going for the backstab as well. Let's go. Let's go. But again, that was a very nice defense out of Creator. He retained the main army by throwing away his probes. And sure, he may have lost more workers, but it doesn't matter. He's going for the kill. He's going for the kill, going for the throats. Wants to end the game here and now. Takes down the battery. The battery does fall. There is 1 defensive Immortal. Gerald, he's holding. Does barely hold on. The Immortal! He flicks it. He flicks in. Does blink in. Does snipe. Nice pickoff. And with that, there's no safety battery here. Creator, he might just barely have too much. Again, he has a heavy Stalker lead. GG gets called, and we have a series. We have a back and forth. Creator ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, it was a very shaky defense there from Creator, but as we mentioned, he did lose a lot of workers in that defense. He did have them tank. That allowed him to retain his Stalkers. He was able to get on top of those Immortals, sniped all 3 of them, and then was able to just overwhelm. GG, well played. Creator was able to take it from then and there. And now we have a series. Now we have a back and forth. Whew. Let's go. Let us go. As we're going to be loading into 10,000 feet. Going to be loading into 10,000 feet here. One of the smaller maps of the map, smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. We'll see how aggressive our players plan on being this time. Honestly, I was very impressed by Gerald's defense. Winding it back when it comes to the game itself, Gerald, he defended well. Obviously, there were a couple of unfortunate moments. Like, if he had a cleaner defense and if he didn't misclick on the gateway, he would have killed the Immortal. That also would have meant that when he pushed across the map, as we saw, that would have been much, much stronger. Remember, he wasted a volley on the hallucination. He also had to focus down that Immortal, which was 2 extra volleys as well. That's a lot of extra DPS on those Immortals. Again, it would have been a much more difficult defense there, and that might have been enough to just end the game then and there in favor of Gerald. Hard to say. Hard to say, but here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet. We have the red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. Tying up the series, it is Creator. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss, the Polish Protoss. It is Gerald. For streamers. PvP carrier aren't good. As we mentioned, carriers, they have like a window where they're good. A window in the game before they get outscaled by Tempest. Here we go. Here we go. As we are getting into game 3 here so far, we have a back and forth. Again, a much more aggressive game in game number 2 from Creator. And it makes sense, right? After the first game, I feel like we've kind of set the pace and set the tone. And Creator now has more information about his opponent. He's like, okay, let's not go into the mid to late game. Let's not slow things down against Gerald. That's where he thrives. That's where he's at his best. Let's be more active, more aggressive, and let's kind of take things to Gerald earlier on. The proxy didn't work out too well for Creator in game number 2, but hey, the follow-up was solid. Yeah. Here we go. From here we have our 2-gate opener out of Creator, 2-gate opener out of Gerald. Second pylon, I believe, was scouted. Yep, was seen from both players. So both Creator and Gerald, they scout each other's main bases, they confirm each other's pylons, and now we are fully aware that it is standard play. No proxy, no shenanigans. Now, we can still turn this into a 1-base all-in, true. We can still just double down. But both players are looking to expand. As there's an Nexus for Creator, Nexus for Gerald. So we're calming things down after an intense game number 2 and going for standard openers. We'll keep an eye on any gateway explosions. We'll keep an eye on any tech timings as well. We'll keep an eye out. As it is going to be that Twilight Council. So both taking the same direction. Should be Twilight Council into Blink. Into Blink Stalkers. Both players, they scout each other. Creator, he confirms the Council. Likewise, so does Gerald. So both players do confirm. From here, we can just build up our Stalkers. We can work towards our 3rd expansion. There's a lot more standard to get into like 2-gate Blink or 3-gate Blink into a 3rd base. If we throw down extra gateways, we'll try to take note of that. Otherwise, we're calming down. Oh, hello. Okay, Gerald's going for the earlier Dark Shrine. Bold move. Now, when it comes to DTs and PvP, they can just straight up end the game. It is not uncommon for a... Oh, I guess got it. Never mind. Never mind. What I was gonna say is that it's not uncommon for a player to delay their robo and go for a third base before, which is what we're seeing here actually. Third base before robo. This is quite greedy, to be honest. Quite greedy, especially considering Creator, he just saw the Dark Shrine and he's still parked on top of it as well. He's playing chicken, he's like, hey, cancel. He's playing chicken here. Gerald, he knows he's been scouted. He's aware. We should be seeing a robo soon out of Creator. There we go. There's that robo. And the observer should come out in time. This is also why typically if we do open up DTs in PvP, it's often proxied, just because hallucination scouts are so prevalent. I'm a little bit shocked to see that Gerald lets it finish. Or that he didn't proxy it to begin with. So the Dark Shrine will complete. Third base is on the way for both players. And we'll see when the Dark Templar come into play. Ooh, Creator shoots first. And Creator, he had the high grounds. A couple of Dark Templar warping across the map. Bold move here by Gerald. As Creator, he just commits it and ends up straight into the mineral line. They can one-shot. We got one probe so far. 2, 3, 4 probes going to be falling. DTs hit the natural. Not bad. They get into the main as well. Despite the detection, there's nothing in position. And probes are going down. Yeah, we're getting messy, we're getting chaotic. Creator, he does have the larger army. And he does overwhelm. Just barely force him back. Thankfully, there is a battery here at the natural. More damage being dealt. More probes going down. Back at home, Creator, he does defend. Yeah, he defends. He's able to pull away. So far, Creator, he did lose extra probes though, true. And Gerald, he actually still maintains a greater economy despite that. Okay. In the end, the DCs were worth it. They were worth it. Creator, a little bit overconfident. I think he assumed that because it was scouted that there wouldn't be any Dark Templar. But Gerald, he's an animal. He's like, hey, I know that you know I'm getting Dark Templar. I'm just going to use them anyway. Like, sure, okay. Why not? The Invisible Man, it's pretty good. And with that, Gerald, he has a stronger economy. When it comes to the upgrades as well, I believe there is no Forge. Yep, no Forge for Creator, so +1 is going to be a big upgrade advantage for Gerald. Not just +1, but +2 as well. So it's going to be a +2 timing. You can see here that we're staying still on 3 gases, going into charge, and charge is done. Yeah, charge is done. Creator, he's committing. Again, the lack of Forge here is a tell. Throwing down gateways, pylons. Creator, he's rushing across the map. Creator, he's looking to end the game. He's looking to straight up end the game. He does have the army supply lead. And Gerald, he's completely out of position. He's racing back home. Yeah, he's racing back home. Shield battery gets depowered. Mineral line is exposed. Remember, Creator, he's here to end the game. No shot. And he is gaining ground. More zealots have arrived. Remember, Gerald, he does not have charge. Not yet. And so many stalkers are falling. Some efficient trades here from Creator. He's just overwhelming Gerald. Catching out the stalkers, the zealots, forcing his way further in. And there's only 9 stalkers left. Only 9 stalkers. They'll take down the Immortal. It took so much to bring it down. And here come the reinforcements. Creator, he's doing it. He's close. Yeah, the Prism has arrived. Forcing back the army. Some wasted DPS here at the natural. Yeah, some wasted DPS, but it looks like he will kill the Robo regardless. Wow. Yeah, kills the Robo. GG gets called. And a Creator, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Creator, he was forced into an all-in. He took a lot of economic damage. He chose not to get a Forge, not to get a +1, to just go for a big 2.5 base all-in. Meanwhile, Gerald, he was across the map. He was being greedy. He was ahead. He was ahead. He was up in workers. He had a 4th base on the way. He was ahead in upgrades as well, but he was across the map. So he missed the army. He missed the army. He missed the all-in. And as a result, he had to fight without any batteries. He had to fight without shield batteries. He had to fight with a disconnected and disjointed army as well. GG. GG, well played. Creator, he does claim a 2-1 lead and 1 game away from claiming the series. Let's go. Uno más, papi, uno más. And again, after game 1, we're just seeing a little more aggression out of Creator, and we're expecting more from here as well. Whereas after game 1, he's like, never again, papi, never again. We just commit. As we are loading into Title Citadel. Here we go. Is it the battery that's the detector or the cannon? The cannon. Cannon. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner here of Title Citadel, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss itself, the South Korean Protoss, leading the series 2-1 in this best of 5 semifinals match. It is a Creator. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. Here we go. As we are loading into game number 4. Dark Shrine's not that expensive. It's still good to keep even if scouted. I would disagree in the sense that because it got scouted, there was a higher chance that Creator shuts down the Dark Templar. So it wouldn't necessarily be like it's a big investment into the Dark Shrine, but it's a big investment into the Dark Shrine and into the DTs as well. And Creator would have, Gerald, he would have fallen behind if he failed to get damage done. Thankfully he did though, right? Like thankfully he did wreak havoc, did kill a bunch of workers. But I feel like a part of that is just because Creator was overconfident because he had scouted it. He believed most likely that Geralt wouldn't commit into DT harass, but he did. So he was caught with his pants down. But it does typically set you behind if it gets scattered and if you fail to get damage done. And again, Geralt, he was in a better position. Unfortunately though, he just was out of position. He was being overly aggressive. He didn't recognize that Creator was all in. Until it was too late. Until it was too late. Meanwhile, we are going to be opening up. Once again, both players scout each other. Once again, both initial pylons are in the main bases. No proxy. No proxy, no shenanigans, no one base all in. Once again, both players will expand. Now from here, we can open up Twilight Council, Robo, or Stargate. We do have 3 tech options available here. And we are loading into a larger map as well. Welcome to Title Citadel, larger map of the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. And we do vary things up here. Okay, so faster expansion for Creator. Instead, Geralt's going Stargate first. Does open Stargates into the natural. And should be opening up Oracle. So it is going to be that Oracle opener. Geralt so far gaining map control. Zoning back the Adepts. There are sentries to defend. The battery is almost done. And Creator, he should be able to hold on here. Oh, as I say that though, the first sentry does take a lot of hits. Does lock him in. 1 sentry goes down, but he does catch the Stalker. The body blocking as well. Ay, ay, ay. Does get one and does not get the other. Whew. Very close. Very close, very clutch. Oh, due to the force field, we are lacking a hallucination. Yeah, the main base has not been scouted. But the depths can shade it. He gets in! No shot. He gets into the main, gets 1, gets 2 probes, and likewise gets a full scout as well, confirms the Stargate and the Twilight Council. Yeah, Creator, he knows. Takes down 3 probes. At the same time, the Oracle gets into across the map and is deflected. Yeah, no damage dealt here by the Oracle. Again, Creator, he was in position. At least the Oracle does survive, so we can always go back in. True, can always go back in. But so far, a stronger start for Creator. It isn't just the economic damage, but it's also the fact that he went for the faster Nexus as he gets into the main again. No! He gets into the main base. Once again, he can just keep one-shotting. Just keep one-shotting. 3 more probes go down, getting a 4th probe towards the end. Oh, barely not. But 3 more probe kills. The pressure's on Gerald. He falls behind. Adepts are moving in. Creator does wall. It does fully wall off. Gerald, he does commit. Gets 1, gets 2. Yeah, it does catch 2 workers, but only 2 workers here. Yeah, the rest of the probes are saved. Ah, we've been here before. That's we're going for the Dark Shrine. I mean, went behind, right? Went behind Dark Shrine. Oh, the FC just keep shading into the main. Gets a full scout, confirms the DTs, gets 3 more probe kills. And we have the faster third base as well for Creator. And hopefully this time Creator actually defends. Hopefully this time he takes it seriously and keeps units in position. Robo's on the way for the detection. Ah, he's moving out. He's moving out across the map. I mean, he could potentially deny the third. When it comes to the main army, what is there to defend? We have 3 Stalkers for Geralt there over towards the left-hand side. Oracle does dip in. Not bad. 4 probes. Oh, but the Oracle does fall. Here comes Creator. Again, Geralt, he's bottom left. And the third base is completely exposed. And it will force a cancel. Creator is racing back home. We've been here before. We saw this on 10,000 feet. Oh, is this a cancel? So there's that cancellation. Creator, he recalls back home. You can see here the observer's in position here at the natural, waiting for the Dark Templar. And this time it was cancelled. If you're curious, yeah, the Dark Shrine was cancelled this time. I mean, at least he's forcing this big reaction out of Creator, at least. As Gerald still has no third expansion. Still no economy. He does actually build a second Oracle though. Okay. It's quite rare to see a second Oracle here. But there is a battery in position. Oracle moves in. Gerald, he applies pressure to the third. Going for the stasis. And Creator, he had a late reaction. Oh! A bit of a late reaction, but he does get away in time. Stalkers, they poke in, but Creator's in position. And Creator defends. So far, so good. Again, the worker counts are similar, but Gerald, he still doesn't have or he just now finished up his third base. Just now finishing up. Creator, he's had more mining for longer. And it's going to be a rough mid-game. It's going to be a rough mid-game here for Gerald. As we are building up there, like the game is slowing down, we're taking up into Charge, into Archons. It's very similar to game number 1, except we're getting there in a very different way. Oh, nice catch, gets 1. Does get 1 Stalker and may force a cancel, very nice. Trying to bait the army in. Oh, nice stasis. Yeah, stasis goes off and Gerald, he can go back in. He could try to go back in and he even just the threat of pushing back in does force another cancellation. Gerald didn't even push. Ah, the aura back. True. Yeah, Creator with the preemptive cancel that was a little bit unnecessary and a force to expand on the top side instead. Again, the reason why he canceled was because he assumed the Geralt was just going to come back. And he would have forced a cancel anyway. Meanwhile, Geralt, he was rotating and he's here to deny the base. No shot. Oracle distracts. Geralt moves in, denies the 4th base for a second time, for a 3rd time, really. And not bad. The rotation, baby. Now, this is nice and all, bearing in mind, though, that Gerald, he's still trying to recover economically. He does now get his own 4th up and running, true. Gets his own 4th base. Now taking an economic lead. So we have a back and forth. Meanwhile, a big shout to KJ Freedom in the chat. God, baby, KJ. Thank you so much, baby. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you so much. Well, the 400 bits, I should say. But thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Esther KJ. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is good. This creator here is going to be pushing out. When it comes to the main armies here, we have Gerald with the upgrade advantage. +2 is going to finish up. So he has +2. Stasis trap. Ooh, massive connection once again. Okay. Yeah, Stasis goes off. Zelsa pushing in. Still a bit of an awkward choke point. But again, he does have the advantage. Let's go for the dive. Yeah, Zelsa's going to be falling. The Archons are stuck behind, though. Yeah, still a little bit awkward here for Gerald. Stasis is about to run out, but he gets on top of the Archons. Yeah, it does break through. Takes down 1, takes down 2. Yeah, 2, 3 Archons going to be falling. It's still a little bit more chaotic here, but Gerald, he does take the fight. Yeah, he does dominate. GG gets called, and we are going to the ace match. GG. We're going to the ace match again. Crazy stasis traps out of Gerald. And again, Gerald was playing from behind. He had a later 3rd expansion. He was losing so many probes as well, but he denied the 4th base 3 different times. He also bought enough time to get his own 4th up and running. And of course, the stasis traps were the MVPs, allowing for even better fights, better engagements. GG. GG, well played. We're going to the ace match. And this could go either way. This can still go either way here. Where are we dropping? 1 stasis in the game is lost. Well, it wasn't just 1 stasis, to be fair. It was a stasis, like, at the base, at the 3rd base of Geralt, right? Like, it was, he had to fight then and there, otherwise he would lose all the stalkers. So creator, he was forced to engage. Oh, let's go. Doing production my turn while catching this. fair enough, Pappy. Fair enough. Este KJ. Are you hosting the FSL? Is that what's happening at the moment? Oh yeah, the FSL Season 10 Finals. Oh, true. Hope you're having fun. As Game 5 is going to be on Winter Madness, one of the larger maps in the map pool. Okay. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. Because the map is larger, this is prime for proxies as well, bear that in mind. So we could see some cheese, we could see some proxies. Eyes are on creator. So many monitors. Let's go. KJ, the guy in the chair. All the monitors. But yes, Geralt, I'm sure he's still got the Psy Storm in him. 100%. He's still got it. But here we go. We're getting into the ace match here. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Protoss player, the Polish Protoss, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. Here we go. As we're getting into our ace match, we're getting into our final game of the series, bearing in mind that Percival is still waiting for the win of the series in the next round. Still lying in wait. It's going to be a Protoss, but whether it's a European or Korean Protoss, yet to be determined. We're here for it. Oh. Are here for it. As creator, he does veer off towards the right hand side. We did speak on this, but Winter Madness is a very large map, known for longer and macro games, but also known for having plenty of proxy locations. Now, based on this location here, it's actually very far out. It's got to be a Stargate, right? Like, the rush distance by ground is quite long. Technically, it could be a proxy Robo, Warp Prism first instead of Immortal first. True. Could still be Robo. Show us what you got. Is it the Robo? Is it the Stargate? I'm leaning more towards Stargate here, but again, we have been seeing more and more like proxy Robo play just further out and still be successful. We shall see. Meanwhile, we do see Gerald coming in, does scout, does confirm that a pylon is missing. He knows. He knows something is amiss. So we do reveal our initial units. Warp does start, and yep, there it is, Stargate. Okay. So again, this does make more sense. That's why we were saying we were leaning towards Stargate play. It's a little bit too far away by ground, but still short rush distance by air. So going for the proxy oracle. Gerald, he's looking, he's scouting. Does scout bottom left, searching for proxies. And he sends his stalkers here towards the right hand side. This is a more common proxy Robo location, and he will eventually confirm. Oh, even going for his own Stargate. He can react with Phoenixes. Oh, he scouts, he confirms, he does spot the Oracle. He's aware. Rallying towards the pylon. I believe the Oracle should still pop out. Yeah, second Stalker does arrive. It's gonna be close. Yeah, it's gonna be close. Thankfully, we have the Chrono. Oh, it's all good. Can he get it? Can he deny? He can. No shot. He denies the Oracle. Oh, God. Not like this. Just what, a couple of seconds away, the Oracle is denied. Back at home, Creator does expand. He expands, he throws in his tech. Twilight Council here out of Creator. Now, what's scary though is... No, okay, he scouted. I was going to say that he didn't quite get eyes in the main. But Creator, he did scout the Stargate. He's aware the Oracle is coming. And Creator, he comes in to throw down the pylon once again. But Gerald, he shoots first. Ooh, he does miss a shot. Does miss his shots. Ah, yeah, Gerald, he gets out microed. He has out control there again. He did have a bit of an advantage for a moment, but he missed his volley, missed his shot. Gerald gets punished. The Oracle moves in. Does force a recall. Backup Oracle's on the way. And there's a battery. There's a battery back at home, and Gerald, he is safe. Recall was just used. True, no. Recall's on cooldown. It was used on the Stalker, which means the Oracle goes down. Yeah, Gerald with a stronger early game here. Shuts down the Oracles. Moves out across the map. Back at home, Creator is stuck at home. He's got a battery in the main, a battery at the natural. And Gerald, he's gained map control. Oh, that's way too soon. No! That's way too soon. Does rally in. Does take a lot of shots. Gerald, we gotta calm down. Calm down, Pat. Gerald, he does have the army advantage here, and he could try to lift the Stalker and commit into the natural. Speaking of, the Phoenix is going to be thrown away. Okay, it does barely get out, but takes a lot of hull damage. And Gerald, he pokes in. And pulls back. And we're just going to macro. We're going to expand. Gerald, he's going to be the first to take his third base. Meanwhile, Stasis Trap here to delay the third base of Gerald. Sorry, of Creator, I meant to say. Oh. Stasis goes off. Thankfully, the probe did actually pull away at the last second there. So nice moves there by Creator. Does pull away. And thankfully, he's not too far behind. From here, we're building up into Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, we do see that Blink is already done for Creator. Now taking up, Forge is on the way, Robo as well. Oracle pokes in, it does catch one probe. And the game is slowing down. Okay, we're slowing things down. Whew, we have a moment to catch our breath. And ideally, Gerald, he can kind of force what he does best and slow the game down, build up into 3-4 bases, tech up as well. He's being somewhat active, but I don't really see him fighting too much damage here. Oh, except for the stasis, true. That was the MVP last game. Can he bait? Can he bait it? It's a bit of an awkward position. It's a little bit awkward. We'll see if we can make use of it. Stage drop into the main. God moves in. Looks like he once created a chase. Ooh, and Creator's going into Immortal Glaive Adepts. Okay, hyper aggressive here for Creator. Now, when it comes to PvP and when it comes to the mid game, Glaives does not scale well into a longer game state, but it does excel in the mid game. Glaives is almost like, think of it as an alternative to Archons. We spoke earlier in game 1 about the trajectory of mid-game PvP and how you begin with Stalkers and then you follow it up with Charger Archon, right? Chargers or Zealots are more efficient, they're more effective against Stalkers and Immortals. That's why you force out Archons out of your opponent to punish those Zealots. That's typically how you want to take up. But the other option is to go into Mass Glaive Adept. Adepts, they do well when it comes to tanking against Stalkers, Immortals, and Zealots. They also trade well against Zealots because of their extra damage, of course. So they tank well. They just don't scale well. So it's very committed, very aggressive here from Creator. As the opposing Protoss player builds up their Archon count, it becomes stronger and stronger here against what Creator has. Archons and more Stalkers. We go Creator, he does push. God, he's setting up, throwing down cannon. Very nice setup here. Cannon, shield, obviously fully understand what's going on. He's getting ready for the all-in. And again, this is a 3-base all-in and by Creator. Stalker's a little bit out of position. Does race over. Here come the Mass Adepts. Trying to shade on the army. Ooh, baits out the stasis. Very nice. It blinks in, baits it out. So the Archons, they push forward. They're trying to get on top of the Stalkers. Sorry, trying to get on top of the Adepts, I meant to say. Nice snipe of the Immortal. Very nice. And Immortal goes down. Archon does push forward. Adepts, they try to shade through. The batteries, they put in a lot of work here. Okay, it does tank well. Adepts, they come in on their own. No, they shade on their own. And Gerald, he's holding. Gerald, he's holding on. He's defending. He shuts out the Adepts. Only Stalkers left. Gerald, he's looking at GG, gets called, and Gerald, he will claim the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Very nice reaction here by Gerald, understanding and scouting the all-in coming his way, throwing down a wall of shield batteries, a wall of cannons, setting up his stasis traps as well, and also really nice army positioning as well when it comes to the Archons, pulling back, waiting for the Adepts to move in, cashing them out as well. GG. GG, well played. Gerald, he will claim the series, he will advance on. Creator is out of the tournament. Creator is out, Gerald is in, and now we have our grand finals. We have our grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Gerald and Percival. Whew, hi. We have our grand finals. Just catching up. Catching up in the chat, but again, just a wild play out of Creator, winding it back. It all began with the proxy Stargate, going for the Oracle, got scattered, got shut down. We had Gerald with a stronger early game, claiming the faster expansion. Like, again, we had a bit of a back and forth there, but in the end, Gerald was able to maintain control, outscale his opponent, and of course, confirm the all-in. Did confirm, but GG, well played. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our grand finals. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon.